Hey everyone, welcome back to Switch Top. Today we're looking at the top 15 new and upcoming games coming to Nintendo Switch and the upcoming Switch 2. Whether you're still rocking the original Switch or waiting for the next generation, these games are going to be incredible. Some are already out, others are coming soon, but they're all worth your attention. Let's dive in. Red Dead Redemption returns on Nintendo Switch 2 with its upgraded port released on December 1st, 2025, bringing back John Marston's journey across the fading American frontier in northern Mexico as he's forced to hunt former gang members to protect his family. The game's open world still shines through its mix of horseback travel, dynamic encounters, duels, bounties, and a morality system that shapes how settlements and strangers react to you. Combat stays rooted in its signature dead-eye slow-motion targeting, letting players line up cinematic shots while navigating tense shootouts. Hunting, exploring remote towns, and responding to random events deepen the sense of living in a world caught between Old West tradition and the rise of modern America. On Switch 2, the remaster delivers cleaner visuals, steadier performance, and up to 60 frames per second, making traversal and gunfights feel smoother than ever. With all original content included, this version preserves the full narrative impact while giving returning players and newcomers a sharper, more fluid way to experience one of Rockstar's most memorable stories.
Let's go! Yeah!
The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, arrives on Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026, introducing players to Philadelphia, a land dominated by beast tribes, while humanity shelters behind the magical borders of the Kingdom of Huther. The story follows Elliot and his fairy partner Faye as they explore newly uncovered ruins and accidentally activate the Doorway of Time, a portal linking eras that propels them into a journey unraveling 1,000 years of hidden history. Unlike the turn-based lineage of Octopath Traveler or Bravely Default, this adventure shifts to real-time action combat, letting Elliot wield 7 distinct weapon types with unique playstyles and upgrade them through magicite fragments found throughout dungeons. Faye supports combat, item gathering, puzzle solving, and can even warp Elliot to her position, making exploration more dynamic. She's also fully playable in co-op. The HD 2D presentation blends pixel art and modern effects, and early demos highlight smooth action, puzzle-driven ruins, and fluid performance on Switch 2.
At the same time, you'll find that she's very helpful on your adventure. Join Elliot and Faye on a grand journey that, unknown to them, will span 1,000 years.
Octopath Traveler 0 launches on December 4th, 2025 for Nintendo Switch 2, serving as a full prequel to the original while transforming the former mobile-only Champions of the Continent into a complete premium JRPG without gacha systems. You create your own protagonist, choosing appearance, voice, and traits, whose story begins with the destruction of Wishvale, setting up a personal quest for revenge and the gradual rebuilding of the town through light settlement mechanics that let you place structures, grow resources, and restore the community. Combat keeps the series' turn-based break and boost system, rewarding players who target weaknesses before unleashing powered-up attacks. But the new 8-character party system adds layers of tactics through frontline and backline roles, support skills, and deep team customization across dozens of recruitable allies. Exploration ties into progression, as gathering materials, completing quests, and investing in Wishvale feed into character and town development. All of this is wrapped in the signature HD 2D aesthetic, blending expressive pixel art with modern lighting to deliver a nostalgic but more flexible evolution of the franchise's formula.
Right. I summon thee, Elfric!
I appreciate it. I'll show you what I can do. I'm all fired up! I did it!
Now or never.
This is our chance.
Monster Hunter Stories 3: Twisted Reflection releases on March 13th, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, sending players into the Kingdom of Azuria as the heir bonded to a rare Rathalos during a crisis known as Crystal Encroachment, a phenomenon that warps monsters and destabilizes the land, while tensions rise with the rival nation of Vermeil. The story leans deeper into political conflict and ancient monster lore, shaping a darker narrative than earlier entries. Combat keeps the turn-based power, speed, technical triangle, but expands strategy through the ability to switch between up to 6 monsties mid-battle and mid-exploration, encouraging varied tactics and allowing monsters to use traversal skills like flight, climbing, or breaking obstacles. You still hatch eggs, raise companions, and strengthen bonds, but the new RE engine presentation adds larger fields, denser towns, and smoother animations. Exploration feels more dynamic as swapping monsties becomes key to navigating Azuria's forests, cliffs, and ruins. With refined battles, richer world building, and more flexible monster taming systems, this sequel aims to be the most ambitious stories entry yet.
I won't let up! Let's go! Looking good!
007 First Light launches on March 27, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, presenting a reimagined origin story for a 26-year-old James Bond as he undertakes the mission that will earn him his 00 status. The narrative follows his early days in MI6, alongside younger versions of M, Q, and Moneypenny, guided by his mentor Greenway as he's pulled into a conspiracy involving rogue agents and shifting alternances across multiple international locations. Built by IO Interactive, the game blends stealth and action in a third-person format, letting players infiltrate mansions, slip into parties to gather intel, or execute silent takedowns, while also embracing high-intensity shootouts, car chases, and cinematic set pieces that echo the series' blockbuster energy. Classic spy gadgets and a flexible mission structure support different playstyles, from quiet infiltration to aggressive combat. Rather than adapting a film, this entry tells an original Bond story, giving IO freedom to merge their Hitman-style tactical stealth with a more dynamic, gadget-driven approach that aims to define a fresh, spycraft fantasy for the franchise on modern hardware.
Any sage advice?
Too nice?
Always.
Elden Ring Tarnished Edition arrives on Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026, bundling From Software's full open-world epic with the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion, additional armor sets, new weapons, and cosmetic options for Torrent. Set in the fractured lands between, the story follows a Tarnished returning from exile to restore the shattered Elden Ring and confront demigods ruling over devastated regions shaped by betrayal and ancient conflict. Gameplay remains a flexible action RPG experience built around player choice. You craft your build from diverse weapons, spells, and abilities, engage in deliberate third-person combat, or rely on stealth and summons to face towering bosses and roaming monstrosities. Exploration stays completely open, letting you ride across windswept plains, delve into dungeons, uncover hidden routes, or tackle legacy castles in any order. Multiplayer co-op and PvP return, offering ways to share challenges or compete. Although initially planned for 2025, performance issues in early previews led to a delay, giving Switch 2 players a more polished version of this expansive, lore-rich adventure when it finally launches.
Against the Erdtree.
Never met someone with a taste for brawn or contrast. We'd make good mates, I reckon.
I bid thee travel the path of the Lord. And once all is done, we shall see each other once more.
Dragon Quest VII Reimagined releases on February 5th, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, offering a full remake of the classic time-traveling JRPG. The story begins on the quiet island of Astard, where the hero and friends uncover the Shrine of Mysteries and its ancient tablets, opening portals to forgotten eras. Each journey to the past restores islands erased from history, revealing a larger conflict involving sealed-away evils and the fractured world's hidden truths. The remake adopts a handcrafted 3D diorama art style, reimagining Akira Toriyama's characters and giving towns, forests, and dungeons a figurine-like charm. Turn-based combat returns with a revamped vocation system, letting characters dual-class via the new moonlighting feature and gain unique vocational perks that expand tactical options. Exploration benefits from visible field enemies, the ability to avoid weaker foes, and smoother navigation, while the original's sprawling narrative has been streamlined to enhance pacing without losing its emotional, island-by-island structure. Blending modern design with classic heart, this remake aims to become the definitive way to experience the adventure.
This is the stuff! You and me battling side by side again. Flame split!
Assassin's Creed Shadows arrives on December 2nd, 2025 for Nintendo Switch 2, bringing the series to late Sengoku-era Japan with two intertwined protagonists, Naoe, a swift shinobi driven by vengeance, and Yasuke, an African-born samurai whose strength and honor shape his path. Their stories unfold across political upheaval and the hidden conflict between assassins and Templars, all set within castles, shrines, and rural settlements influenced by shifting seasons and weather. Gameplay blends stealth, parkour, and tactical combat, letting you switch freely between the agile, infiltration-focused Naoe and the heavy-hitting Yasuke. Combat emphasizes precise parries, stance changes, weapon variety, and personalized builds, while exploration adopts a more organic philosophy, using scout-based discovery instead of dense minimap markers. The Switch 2 port targets 30 frames per second, with adjusted draw distances, simpler reflections, and touchscreen-friendly menus, yet preserves the atmosphere and scale of the original release. With its dual hero structure, refined combat, and lush historical setting, Shadows marks one of the series' most ambitious shifts, while remaining portable on Nintendo's new hardware. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition launches on November 10, 2025 for major platforms, with the Nintendo Switch 2 version arriving in 2026, bringing the complete Commonwealth adventure and all its expansions to a Nintendo system for the first time. This edition bundles the full base game, every major DLC, from Far Harbor to Nuka World, and over 150 Creation Club add-ons that introduce new weapons, armor sets, quests, cosmetics, and settlement pieces. The story follows the sole survivor of Vault 111 as they emerge into a devastated post-nuclear Boston, searching for their missing child while navigating faction politics, irradiated ruins, and moral choices that reshape the wasteland. Mechanics remain centered on the special attribute system and perk-based builds, letting you tailor playstyles from stealth to heavy combat or charisma-driven speech checks. Exploration blends scavenging, crafting, trading, and settlement building with open-ended freedom across cities, forests, and toxic zones. With its expanded content library and portable play on Switch 2, the Anniversary Edition aims to be the most complete and flexible way to experience Fallout 4's massive post-apocalyptic sandbox. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle arrives on Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026, placing the adventure between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade as Indy chases a powerful mystery linked to ancient sites forming the Great Circle. Set in 1937, the story follows his race against hostile factions across locations such as the Vatican, Giza, and remote temples, blending cinematic sequences with exploration and puzzle-driven archaeology. The game primarily uses a first-person perspective to heighten immersion, shifting to third-person during whip traversal and key cutscenes. Combat mixes fists, firearms, and improvised tools, with the whip doubling as a weapon and traversal device for disarming foes, pulling objects, or swinging across gaps. Stamina governs movement and fighting, adding weight to decisions during chases or brawls. Stealth and infiltration allow disguises, though sharp-eyed enemies can expose you, and hub-like levels encourage optional exploration, relic hunting, and small side objectives. Environmental interaction, clearing rubble, climbing, decoding symbols, manipulating ancient mechanisms gives the adventure a grounded feel. The aim is a modern take on Indy's classic globe-trotting formula, now adapted for portable play on Switch 2.
You're messing with powers beyond your control.
You should know by now.
I am always in control.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade arrives on January 22nd, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, bringing the celebrated Midgard chapter of the Remake project to Nintendo players with its expanded visuals and refined storytelling. The adventure follows Cloud Strife, a former soldier drawn into Avalanche's resistance against the Shinra Corporation, as he uncovers a threat that extends far beyond Midgard's industrial sprawl. Intergrade also folds in Yuffie's standalone Intramission episode, adding a parallel storyline that enriches the political and narrative layers around Shinra's operations. Combat blends real-time action with strategic ATB gauges for abilities, spells, materia builds, summons, and limit breaks, while party swapping during battles allows for flexible tactics. The Switch 2 version emphasizes lighting accuracy and expressive character detail, despite being optimized for portable hardware, and it includes an optional streamlined progression mode that boosts gauges and stats for players who prefer a more relaxed, story-first experience. With its hybrid combat, cinematic presentation, and expanded character arcs, Intergrade delivers a faithful yet accessible take on the opening act of the FF7 saga.
You're not real. You're dead.
This planet is my birthright.
I don't believe it. We played right into Shinra's hands.
The future isn't.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond launches on December 4th, 2025 for both Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, sending Samus Aran to the distant planet Vuros after a clash with her rival Sylux. Stranded and searching for a way home, she uncovers traces of an ancient civilization while navigating hostile ecosystems and confronting Sylux's growing threat. The game maintains the first-person exploration and combat foundation of the Prime series, scanning environments, solving interconnected puzzles, and steadily expanding Samus's abilities, while introducing new psychic powers that let her manipulate objects, redirect energy, and influence enemies, adding a fresh layer to traversal and combat strategy. Large hub zones tie regions together, and the Vi-Zero Law motorcycle speeds up long-distance exploration before returning to tight, atmospheric corridors. The Switch 2 edition enhances performance with quality and performance modes, HDR support, and improved Joy-Con 2 aiming for more precise control. While reviews note mixed feelings about the wider overworld and pacing, the game's blend of tense exploration, atmospheric design, and inventive psychic mechanics marks a bold evolution for the Prime formula. The Duskbloods launches in 2026 as a Switch 2 exclusive, bringing a dark, gothic fantasy multiplayer experience from Software, where players become Bloodsworn, cursed beings empowered by the primordial First Blood. Set in a collapsing world caught between converging realms, the story frames each match as part of a larger struggle for this ancient power, with a tone reminiscent of Victorian horror fused with cosmic mystery. Gameplay mixes PvP and PvE for up to 8 players, who battle one another while also facing monstrous AI enemies and roaming bosses across shifting arenas. Each Bloodsworn features unique weapons, firearms, and supernatural abilities, and between matches, players return to a hub where they define their blood history, shaping appearance, attributes, and role-specific goals. Matches evolve dynamically through sudden objectives, rare enemy spawns, and roles such as Destined Rival or Destined Companion that push players towards specific interactions. With its focus on aggressive combat, unpredictable encounters, and a richly atmospheric world built exclusively around multiplayer tension, the Duskbloods marks a striking new direction for From Software on Nintendo Switch 2.
Tears will flow for one, and one alone.
Resident Evil Requiem launches on February 27, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2 alongside other platforms, introducing Grace Ashcroft, an FBI analyst drawn into a series of gruesome deaths linked to a derelict hotel and long-buried horrors tied to Raccoon City's past. The game blends first and third-person perspectives on the fly, letting players lean into atmospheric dread or a wider combat view as they explore claustrophobic environments shaped by advanced RE engine lighting and detailed, decaying architecture. Requiem returns to classic survival horror fundamentals, with limited resources, puzzle-gated progression, and tense navigation of spaces where light, shadow, and sound design play heavily into encounters. Grace's relative inexperience compared to previous protagonists heightens vulnerability, emphasizing evasion, smart item use, and situational awareness over brute force. The Switch 2 version delivers smooth performance and enhanced visuals, thanks to the system's updated hardware. And despite requiring a game key card for physical copies, it launches with the full game intact. The result is a modern entry that reconnects with the series' roots, while offering flexible perspective options and an unsettling new mystery.
Something important.
Mom, I'm scared.
Grace. They're coming.
Fire Emblem: Fortune's Weave arrives on Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026, framing its tactical RPG campaign around the heroic games, a massive tournament overseen by the enigmatic Divine Sovereign, who promises a single wish to the victor. Warriors from across the world enter for glory, redemption, or survival, and the narrative's shifting alliances and rivalries echo themes familiar to fans of the Three Houses era, while standing as its own tale. Core mechanics return with grid-based, turn-driven battles, weapon durability, combat arts, and gambits, but new systems expand the tactical depth. Blaze arts allow potent special actions at the cost of HP, while fresh classes like Flying Orneus Riders and Charioteers open new mobility and formation strategies. The arena-centric premise leans into moral ambiguity as players face opponents with their own motivations, making each matchup feel personal. Fortune's Weave appears to combine the series' classic strategic identity with risk-reward decision-making and tournament-driven storytelling, marking a bold variation on the Fire Emblem formula while maintaining its signature character-focused drama.
There's a man I hate so much that simply killing him will not satisfy me. For that reason, I refuse to die.
And there you have it, the top 15 new and upcoming games for Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. Whether you're playing on current hardware or the new generation, these games show that Nintendo platforms are getting some of the biggest titles in gaming. What games are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe to Switch Top for more Nintendo content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.